If these walls could talk, oh, the stories they could tell. Often, we look at an old building and wonder, what happened there? These forgotten buildings embody our history. They tell us who we are and how we got here. But they are vanishing from our landscape. When they disappear, we will lose their stories forever. Saving those that remain helps preserve our state's rich history. These walls can talk if we take the time to listen. These are Colorado's most endangered places. Hello, and welcome to Colorado's Most Endangered Places. I'm Dave Aguilera. This year marks the 150th anniversary of Colorado becoming a state, the 38th star on the flag. Here at History Colorado, they've pulled out all the stops to showcase the history that has shaped our state. Here at History Colorado, the old meets the new. Everything from a beaded Bronco necklace from the Northern Arapaho tribe, which they still wear to Bronco games, to the state constitution, which was approved in 1876 and is still the law of the land. But history doesn't just sit behind glass. It's on Main Street. It's in the mountains. Well, it's everywhere. That's where Colorado Preservation Incorporated comes in. CPI is a nonprofit, donor-supported organization which specializes in connecting community groups with resources and funding needed to preserve their local history. Since 1998, CPI's Endangered Places program has shone a spotlight on sites across the state which stand threatened by time, neglect, or development. Every year, CPI solicits nominations for their Colorado's Most Endangered Places list from individuals and groups looking to preserve the stories of their local communities. For the next half hour, we're going to share the stories told by the 5 sites on this year's Most Endangered Places list. Our first site has ties to the women's suffrage movement. Colorado held a referendum in 1893 which gave women in the state the right to vote. That referendum capped a years-long effort by groups across the state, including one led by a prominent Gunnison socialite. But that was just one chapter in the history of the Hartman Castle.
And then you come through the woods and you see this beautiful grand structure. It's overwhelming.
This Queen Anne Victorian almost seems out of place in Gunnison.
They don't build them like this anymore. Nope, definitely not.
Which is why architect Jody Reeser finds herself drawn to what is known locally as the Hartman Castle.
This is a treasure to that era and certainly to the people that built it.
Like the house, the people that built it stand out in local history.
The known legend of Alonzo Hartman and the Hartman Castle is one of the first things you learn about when you move to Gunnison.
It's a story which goes back to before Gunnison existed.
In 1868, a Indian agency was established called Los Pinos. And as a result, a cow camp was established. Alonzo Hartman came in here in a blizzard on Christmas Day of 1872, rode in to take over the cow camp.
The 1873 Bruno Treaty would force the Indians further southwest. Hartman remained along with his cattle.
He's here from 1872 to 1879, building up the herd, building an irrigation ditch, establishing that dairy, building a fish hatchery. There's nobody out here. There's no town of Gunnison, no town of Crested Butte, nothing until 1879.
That's when the silver boom began. Those miners had to eat.
And that's how all these ranchers made out like bandits.
The railroad arrived in 1881, and Gunnison boomed. Gunnison's most eligible bachelor soon found himself smitten with the newly arrived court clerk.
Annie came out here in part because she was advised to do it because of her health.
Annie became a force of her own within the community.
She had a thriving artist community here. Annie was a part of what was called the Monday Afternoon Club. She was a founding member. The Monday Afternoon Club was one of the groups that became the suffrage movement.
In 1891, Alonzo and Annie began construction on a new house. Annie designed the house along with the couple's minister.
Nobody knows much about the minister that was part of this, if he was formally trained or if they just had really high level of artistic talent and they did research. The turret, the detailing, this is where Annie painted. It has so much stately home building elements to it.
The Hartmans sold the ranch in 1911 to pursue other business ventures further west. The house would pass to various owners for the next 100 years.
I love the curvature of the staircase.
Now, community members work to raise the money to save the castle.
The bones, in general, are still pretty good, considering everything that it's been through.
They hope the work needed will pay off, preserving the legacy of one of Gunnison's most influential couples.
It definitely is symbolizing exactly what he intended, I think.
When we return, we'll learn how descendants of early settlers to our state are working to preserve their heritage and their faith. And leaders in one Eastern Plains town have a unique way to reinvigorate its Main Street. Colorado's history began long before statehood in 1876. Native Americans have called parts of this region home for thousands of years. The 18th and the 19th centuries saw the beginning of northward migration of Hispanic settlers. Many of these settlers found their way to the farmlands of the San Luis Valley. Our next site sits in the oldest of these settlements, San Luis. There was nothing easy about homesteading there. The land was arid and unforgiving. It took hard work, determination, and a lot of faith. For those in San Luis, that faith found an anchor in a small adobe morada.
Here is where I learned a lot of the sense of giving, the sense of spirituality.
Spirituality and faith shape many aspects of life in the San Luis Valley.
This always was a sacred place.
For Sandy Ortega, the heart of that faith lies in this adobe building called La Morada.
Stand in this room is kind of like coming in during Holy Week, and they would have like songs, they would have readings from scripture.
As a child, Sandy would help prepare meals for Holy Week celebrations.
We would just be all excited to come in and be able to help our moms, and I can still smell that amazing food that they would cook.
And I can remember when I was young, we actually used to kind of sneak in this building and see what was going on.
Moradas like this anchored the faith of communities across the valley.
These moradas were small churches. It doesn't matter what condition you poured yourself into your house on Saturday night, you were going to church on Sunday.
That devotion goes back generations.
So we're talking about the mid to late 1830s and early 1840s that we saw the first attempts at settlement.
These settlements were a long way from established communities like Taos or Santa Fe.
Because of that, there wasn't a regular priest presence in a place like San Luis. So the penitentes took it upon themselves to really, maintain the spiritual and cultural traditions.
The penitentes were made up of laymen from the community. The term penitente comes from the concept of penance, or atoning for one's sins.
So all of their rituals maybe sounded a little scary or dark.
That led to a sense of mystery about the group.
This was like the secret meeting room. Nobody, other than the penitentes, the hermanos, were allowed in here.
The penitentes still practice in the valley, but services here ended more than 50 years ago. It's sat unused ever since.
I was blessed to be able to have bought this property.
After 50 years of just keeping the building standing, Sandy says it's high time to bring it back to life.
I know Mom and Dad are up in heaven looking down and say, "Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, okay, honey, what a shame. Que vergüenza." Now it's becoming back into getting reborn.
This is Aspen, and this is very atypical of how they used to make the vigas.
To a layperson who might walk through the doors, it might look like the building is falling apart. But in reality, considering the history of the building, I think it's in remarkable condition.
Buildings like this stayed intact for a reason. They were seen as sacred places of worship. What makes our community rich is that history, and people like Sandy who are really dedicated and devoted to making sure that our culture, our religion, and artifacts like this are going to stand the test of time because somebody cares about them.
That is my dream, to then have this to where people walk in and say, "Oh my gosh, I just feel all warm and cozy and comfy, and this is just heaven on earth.
As Anglos moved to Colorado from the east, they established numerous small farming communities out on the eastern plains. One common feature to all of these communities is a small Main Street business district where folks could come to town and get whatever they needed. Today, many of these main streets struggle to maintain even a part of their former glory. Our next site sits on a corner in Ordway, where the town is taking a unique approach to rebuilding their crumbling business district.
It was a corner lot. We felt like if we didn't do something with it, no one was going to do anything with it.
Tyrone and Cheyenne Jackson describe themselves as serial entrepreneurs.
Anytime we can get our hands on something and turn it into a business, we're game.
When they saw this building in the eastern plains town of Ordway, they saw potential.
When we bought it, we didn't even know what we were going to put in it. So that kind of came afterwards.
While they contemplate its future,
They just literally just up and left.
they're uncovering its past.
This was one of the first buildings built on Main Street, Ordway. This building was built in 1910 by Mr. King. He ran it as a drugstore until about 1928 when Mr. Wyeth took it over. Albert Flint was his manager. Flint bought in, and eventually it was Flint Drug. And the Flints owned this building from about 1930 to 2020.
Annette Barber spent many a hot summer afternoon inside these walls as a child.
And I would come in and order lime phosphate.
A new operator bought the pharmacy but chose to relocate across the street.
When you have a building sit, that's when it begins to deteriorate, and that's what was happening to this building.
People own this and they went to fix it and it was caving in. And finally they said, we don't want it anymore. And they signed it over to the town.
That left Ordway leaders with the burden of a crumbling vacant building. Ordway's mayor, Jerry Barber, says they don't have the resources to fix it. So they took a different approach.
We did a deal where we give it to you really cheap, and then you have a period of time to fix it, and when you're done, it's yours.
We really hope to refurbish this whole ceiling.
By greatly reducing the purchase price, the new owners can use that money to cover the cost of renovations.
They're as active as we are. If we ramp up, it seems like they'll ramp up with us.
The town gets revenue on the back end from taxes and utilities.
And then we have a business. I think this is going to be a great business.
See, the awning is still different.
The Jacksons want to pay homage to the history of the building.
We're not necessarily going to go out and do a full remodel around one era, but just taking pieces from throughout the years that we think would complement the look that we're going for.
You know, you had cracks, foundations.
Those renovations still pose significant challenges.
The roof leaks, and so we have to get that fixed. The back brick has to be fixed as well.
Fixing those bricks will rebuild the wall, but more importantly, strengthen the sense of small-town community Ordway has been working to preserve.
Anytime those of us that are invested in this community can see a young couple come in and want to contribute, like the Jacksons are willing to contribute, we get our hopes up, because that's what we want. We want hope.
That's what we're after, is people to want to come in and invest in our community on our main street.
We're digging our toes in here, and we'd really like to just see this town be embraced with the love that it deserves and beautify it in any way that we can.
When we return, we'll take a look at the impact William Bent and the fur trade had on Colorado's growth and the challenges facing the reconstruction of Bent's old fort. Also, the projectors are still there, but will the lights ever light up again at the Old Pearl Theater? Welcome back to Colorado's Most Endangered Places. History Colorado celebrates all aspects of our state's rich history, including recent history. Check out the sign from the Bugs Bunny Motel. It sat on Colfax for 45 years doing business, and then in 1997, Warner Brothers said, hey, wait a minute, Bugs Bunny is ours. You got to change your name to the Big Bunny. For most of us, our favorite pop culture moments come at us through a screen of some sort, be it in the movies or on television. Our next site delivered those memories to the town of Buena Vista for over 40 years. Now the community is rallying around the old Pearl Theater.
The film goes on these little things here, the sprockets.
John Groy digs around the projection booth of the old Pearl Theater in Buena Vista.
I ran these till I went to college.
For him, working at the theater was much more than a summer job. It's in his blood.
My mom and dad started this theater when I was probably 1 year old.
That was in 1952.
And named it the Pearl after my mother. Mom would be the ticket seller and talk through the little glass thing. Main Street, Buena Vista.
An old picture in the lobby shows Main Street long before the Pearl. The building was built in 1911. One time a bar and later a warehouse. That's when John's parents bought it and began renovating it into a movie theater.
I wasn't much of a helper in those days. I was more of a little kid running up and down the aisle.
The theater was John's home, literally.
We lived above this theater, 2-bedroom apartment, basically. But we had a view of the street. And I'll tell you what, the parades never looked better.
Growing up with a movie theater downstairs made John a popular kid.
I was a first grader, and Jamie Green and Carol Newsom grabbed my hands, and we watched Elvis Presley Love Me Tender.
And all the girls loved him.
It wasn't me, it was this theater.
This theater created cherished memories for many.
I grew up going to the Pearl. When we were kids, we got to go to town twice in a week. And that was Saturday and Sunday. I always remember Pearl. She kind of reminded me of the heyday of the 40s, 50s movie stars.
The theater went dark in 1996, falling to competition from television and changing times. The Groys focused on keeping their nearby Comanche Drive-In open.
Financially, you had to look at what would make it, and the Pearl was having trouble. For the last 30 years, this poor building has been neglected.
That neglect has taken its toll.
Unfortunately, our back wall, that corner, has had a lot of water damage to those bricks.
It's easy to get disheartened.
Sometimes you think, oh, people don't care. Just sell it, get rid of it, don't fix it, whatever.
But the Pearl's roots run deep in this town.
When the Pearl came into trouble, it was like, of course, you would help.
While the county deemed the building unsafe, community members rallied to landmark it.
That's probably been my best heartwarming thing, is to see people want it fixed.
Removing it would be like having, a gap in your front teeth.
Now they're trying to bring the building back to anchor Buena Vista's much revived Main Street.
New places with new opportunities, new places for them to gather, have art productions, have plays.
Reversing 30 years of neglect is not an overnight process.
Baby steps, you have to take small steps.
But community support is strong.
A lot of people in the community have memories of being here, and I think that's huge.
I'd like to stay the Pearl. My mom would be proud if I kept her name.
William and Charles Bent played a significant role in opening trade routes along the Santa Fe Trail into Colorado. This display here at History Colorado shows artifacts that were taken from the original Bent fort and on loan from the National Park Service. Items like a tea kettle, cooking kettle, and a big chest that they stored flour, dried buffalo, and dried fruits in. The National Park Service built a full-size reconstruction of Bent's old fort on the site of the original near La Junta. They built it in conjunction with the nation's bicentennial celebration as a way to showcase the impact the Western states had on our nation's history. Now, the building that was built to celebrate two time periods finds itself caught between them. Conflicts between old and new construction techniques, new safety requirements, and changing philosophies into how that history is presented have left the building crumbling and its future uncertain.
This changed the economy of the area.
Bill Gwaltney separates fact from fiction about fur traders in the American West.
It was fanciful then and it's fanciful now.
He teaches this lesson in a reconstruction of Bent's old fort in southeastern Colorado.
This place is a wonderful opportunity to help give a visual representation of what life was like.
He would know. He began working here as a seasonal ranger shortly after the Park Service first opened the building in 1976.
All of my enthusiasm for fur trade history was surrounding me.
This reconstruction sits on top of the footprint of the original fort by the Arkansas River, where William and Charles Bent first set up shop in 1833.
This for the Bents seemed to be a good middle ground, close to a crossing of the river to Mexico, close to the mountains.
For 16 years, Bent's Fort played a critical role in opening up the American West.
Making Indian people into customers was really the whole diplomatic point of this place.
The Bents left the post in 1849. The building then served as a stage stop and later a line camp for cattle operations.
That original structure, there are still portions of it standing above ground into the early 20th century. Those are erased by the Arkansas River flood of 1921.
The building vanished. Its legacy still captured the imagination.
This site was on the radar as a potential national park unit as early as 1935. Congress authorizes the park in 1960.
Construction coincided with the nation's bicentennial.
There was a real catalyzing energy in Colorado to make sure that when we were celebrating the bicentennial, that it extended beyond the East Coast.
The fort captured the imagination of the community.
We appreciated Bent's Fort as this brand new old fort.
The Park Service built this reconstruction using materials and techniques as close to the original as they could.
1800s, Bent St. Vrain and Company had a small army of people to maintain it. We don't have that luxury today.
Bill Allen helps maintain the fort.
And what's happened is the adobe brick is rotting faster than the mortar. We've had to provide a pipe jack at each location to support the roof above. This is 48 years of water damage. This is why we're not letting visitors up there.
There are no easy fixes.
What to do here next is not up to me.
We've had really good collaborative conversations with the National Park Service around preserving Bent's Old Fort. I think the future of the site is actually going to be dictated by the community.
Despite the challenges, the Park Service remains committed to its core mission of telling the story of America's western expansion.
They just closed the inner doors of this
continuing to teach the past while trying to navigate the future.
There are just so many lessons to be learned in places like this, and that's why places like this have value.
Indeed, historic places have value. The artifacts on display here at History Colorado Center are just the tip of the iceberg. So much more of Colorado's history exists outside of these walls. That's why Colorado Preservation works tirelessly to preserve them. Since 1998, Colorado Preservation has named 149 sites to the Most Endangered Places list. Of those, 57 have been saved and only 9 have been lost. For more information about these and other sites on the list, head to coloradopreservation.org. I'm Dave Aguilera. Thanks for watching.